Hello there, how you doing? Now, in my last video, I talked about the problem with relationships, and this has a lot to do with the expectation of each other. Alright, the gap may be very wide, or the gap may not be that wide. And you got to figure out how you're going to work it out or walk away and forget about it. That's really very much a decision. However, let's look at another angle. You know, we come with weaknesses, we come with baggages because we have some past conditioning. We liked it or not, that's factual. Even the most successful person on earth comes with baggages and weaknesses. I guess the difference between someone that become more and more successful, and when I say successful, I'm not talking about just the money, the wealth, I'm talking about in all areas, is because they keep adjusting, changing, being very mindful with the awareness what are things they need to change. So think about this saying, when I change, he change or she change, depending on gender of course. Do not expect the other person to change. Start with yourself. Reflect upon the weaknesses that you have, even though it may be as mild as you can imagine. Well, it may sound like, or rather I may sound like pretty egoistic what I'm going to say next. When I look at my list of weaknesses, really there are not many. In fact, they're just so few and so mild. Now, it didn't happen overnight. It happened over times. I'm being mindful and I go inside of myself. I reflect inwards. Instead of pointing finger, of course, the other person is at fault, but I don't want to point finger. I say what I need to say factually, and I come back to myself. What are my weaknesses to start with that contribute to this problem in this particular relationship? Or relationships with people, in whatever case. It's not necessarily just a boy-girl relationship. And then I'm mindful to make those changes. Who am I doing it for? Myself, not for the other party. Just in case the other party is really not worth your time, worth your while, but you have corrected what you need to correct, then you can walk away with the relationship and you don't feel bad because you know you've done it all. But if you have not made those changes, several things may happen. You may regret, you may have guilt. Years later down the road, you look back and say, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? So don't live this sort of life. Go back, sit down, spend a moment to meditate. Every day, just spend a moment to meditate. Meditate doesn't have to be a big thing, okay? Just being quiet, clear your mind, and then reflect upon your own weaknesses. And then be mindful, what are the changes that's expected? Step by step. Do not get intimidated by your weaknesses if there are many. Do not feel like, oh my goodness, beat yourself up with all the self-doubt. No, no big deal. Weaknesses, in fact, gives us an opportunity to be a way better person, to be that positive, good person that you stand for in this lifetime. In fact, do you know that it's such a blessing to be a human being? I'll talk about it in the next video. Alright? Meantime, please go do that reflection and then make the correction on those weaknesses. Remember, when I change, they change. Stay well.